Yo! Felix Kobe Kenobi. Everybody like the live as you come in? Everybody come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Yeah, that was funny earlier. Everybody say what's up to Surrey. First time lunch crew. Come on in. We about to talk about this Tupac delayed trial. Tupac. I can't believe it, y'all. Can y'all believe what's going on with the Tupac trial? That's like the never-ending trial. It's the lunch crew. It's the lunch crew. Come on in. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Will Smith got a new movie coming out. Floyd Mayweather. Look like he might be in a little trouble. Wendy Williams. What's up? What's up, y'all? Greg said he gonna be late because he getting his teeth fixed. I mean, get his teeth clean. And it's taking so long. I think Greg got teeth the size of like what horse teeth. They might have to spend a little extra time cleaning all those choppers. So since Greg got huge teeth, I'm gonna go on without him. What's up, y'all? Rick Ross has a lawsuit. Yeah, I saw that. I actually just saw that before I came on the live. Rick Ross. Everybody got a lawsuit going on at this point. Nobody's safe. If you got some money, prepare to be sued. So let's start off with this Tupac stuff. Then we're going to go to the Floyd Mayweather. We're going to go to the Floyd Mayweather after the Tupac. So check it out, y'all. Let's check out this Tupac situation. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. I don't know if y'all remember that song, but the Tupac stuff is getting crazy. There go the Teeth Man popping in, y'all. Check it out. Everybody say what's up to Greg.
Hey man, what's going on, big dog?
We was in here in the chat. We was wondering, since it was taking so long to get your teeth, we was trying to get your teeth clean. Since you was late, we was trying to figure out how big your teeth were. Did you? We was like,
regular teeth.
Yeah, because you came in enough time where it was like, okay, his teeth regular size. They just a tad. They just had a tad work. He just had been a while since his last cleaning, so they had like a little to do. Hey, look, Greg, because you ain't never late, so it had to be something. Tell us why you late, because I want to let the chat know that Greg normally not late. He normally could count on him. So I know something had to happen. I know you ain't playing it this way.
No, absolutely not, man. I just
So go ahead. That's what. Hey, look, that's what we're here for. Shoot, we got 2 hours, man. Story time, Greg. Tell us how they was late. What happened at the team clean?
No, I mean it was a regular cleaning, but I got out a little late, so I had to come in, get my stuff off, get in front of the computer, blah blah blah. So that's why I'm a little late. I thought I would have been back home a lot earlier, but you know how it be at the dentist office, man. You ain't in control of nothing. You just sitting there, like a paraplegic for the most part until they get done, man. You can't be like, hurry up. I got something to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, the dentist all about getting that money. They had 10 people sitting down. Everybody just got white capes on and dentist capes on and laying in that chair. Ain't nothing happening, but they got like 10 people going at one time.
Yeah, man. I hate the dentist, man. It's almost like catching a flight. How I hate getting on planes is the same way I feel about going to the dentist, man. I hate that crap, man. But you got to do it, bro. Got to do it. Can't be around with yuck mouth.
I don't play about that. Like,
right.
I normally being out of the country and back and forth kind of threw me off, but I ain't gonna lie. I normally go every 3 months.
Yeah, I do it every 6. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wish I could do it every 3 months, man. But insurance.
Yeah, I just started that as I got older, but I just got to the point where, like, man, I'd rather just go every 3 months just to make it easier on me when I go too. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go every 3 months, it's kind of just like, wow.
You be paying out of pocket, or you got?
Yeah, I pay out of pocket for that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See,
yeah,
I got.
Yeah. The free that. Yeah, no, I pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
They give me a good deal.
Right.
But yeah, heck no. Yeah, if I had the luxury like you were just getting that for free, yeah, they ain't playing that every 3 months.
No, absolutely not. Like you get 2 a year.
Playing that.
You get 2 a year. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, we got an announcement. I think I'll put it on the big board, y'all. Shauna gonna miss tomorrow. Her daughter has a field trip, but she'll watch it afterwards. So let's hope Shauna and her daughter have an amazing field trip. Nothing like field trips. I was one of those people, I don't like being sitting still, and I ain't never been into school. I did what I had to do, and I had liked certain subjects, but I was that kid that I lived for field trips because that's the only thing I can enjoy. We out in the wild and get to run around or just whatever. I don't like being confined. So I always loved field trips just because we got to leave the school and walk around and be free. You know what I mean? I was that kid that be staring up at that clock the whole class. Like, this is moving so slow. So shout out to field trips. What you say, Greg?
You know why I used to like field trips?
What?
I want the chat to think I'm some kind of horny man or anything.
I knew we already knew where you was going with.
Well, man, it was that time you got to sit by Susie or Jay, you know what I'm saying? On the bus ride there, the bus ride back, man. Only time you really could do that is if the parents was going to come and be chaperones. You know what I'm saying?
The whole chat knew you was about to go. Yeah, he said, hey, look, y'all know on field trips, Greg was the student you had to keep your eye on at the field trip. Hey, where's Greg? Oh, him and Susie went to what? Him and Susie did what?
Yeah, man. That was.
Sometimes I wish I could go back in time and just snoop on us. Like I want to go back in time when Greg was like 10 years old at a field trip. And I just want to sneak up on you and be like, yeah, I came from the future. You told me this what you be doing, man. Tighten up, man. Tighten up.
Right. That would be me, bro. I would be looking at the clock like, man, I'm about to be able to sit by Susie on the trip.
Oh, man. Hey, look.
I used to love them too, bro. That's the bottom line to it. I used to love me some field trips, man. We used to go everywhere.
And then I used to love, and then I used to love going on field trips with my son because I've always been, and Greg, you know, I've always worked for myself. So I've always had a free schedule where I could go on all the field trips with my son. And it used to be crazy because like when the school would go, and you know how they ask any parents want to go, I always could go, I would normally be like the only guy. It would be only moms that might be able to come with their kid, most of the stay-at-home moms maybe or whatever. So, and my son's mother actually worked at the school. My son went to school where his mom worked for like his first like 6 years of his life. And so at first, I used to get invited to all the field trips, and then I'd be there with all the moms. You know, we have a great time. And so I had a little Greg in me, I guess. I don't know. I was just being nice to everybody. But I started getting so cool with so many of the moms, I stopped getting invited. And I put two and two together. And to this day, I think my son's mom was like, we don't need your dad at no more field trips. Because I was getting too cool. Next thing you know, I'll be over people. We'd be kicking it outside the field trips, just having fun. And then So my son would be at somebody's birthday, and I'd take him to their birthday, and his mom, and they'd be like, how do you know her? I'm like, from the zoo field trip. We went to the zoo. So needless to say, I stopped getting invited to field trips, and I thought it was because he stopped having them. But then I just kind of put two and two together, and I was like, I think I was just a little bit too nice at all the field trips.
She took you out the loop, huh?
Yeah, she took me clean out the loop. I was like, damn, y'all don't go to the zoo no more?
Yeah, we done been 6 times. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I was like, they used to go to the zoo like 4 times, 3 times a year. And like 2 or 3 years went by, and I had no invites to no more field trips.
That's funny.
Just a personal story that I thought was kind of interesting. So so I had a good run though, but when I was invited, it was fun.
Yeah, it was, man. I used to love them field trips, man. And like you say, we used to have to, and then like my mom's, because sometimes they would like, bring $10. We're gonna go to McDonald's, but most of the times we would have to do, the brown bag lunch, right?
Okay.
Where your mom had to make, man, my mom, I don't know why, but she used to show out with the lunches, man. I would be like, I would have soda, nay bread, chips, Kids would be like with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She used to roll out the red carpet, bro. I'll be in there like looking at people like, yeah, I got soda. Y'all drinking chocolate milk? Not me.
That's why. Hey, look, I used to be the same way when I used to go on the field trips with my son. Hey, look, each parent had a little group. So you know how I am, Greg. So in my group, I have all my little 7 students or whatever. And so when it was time for like lunchtime, you know how they had the little, like the school provided they little, nothing lunch, right?
Right.
My table, I'm ordering everything. So you and my group, we eating we buying the zoo food. You know what I'm saying? I spent $150 on my group. That's another thing. So all the kids used to always want to be in my group.
Right.
And the moms used to be like, he's good with the kids. So yeah, the more and more I think about it, that's why hey, look, I'm so real, y'all. When I stopped getting invited, I didn't even get mad when I really thought about it. I said I was like too friendly. And if the shoe was on the other foot, and I worked at the school, and his mom was coming on field trips, and everybody was all in her face and loving, I probably would shut it down too. So I didn't.
No, you just shut
I
it
didn't
down.
even hate on it. I never even brought it up. The first time she might even hear about it will be on this show. She gonna be like, he knew that's why I ain't invite him. But yeah, Greg. So no, thanks. That's how. Hey, look, that's what I like about these shows. Shauna tell her she ain't gonna be here. Next thing you know, we spending 20 minutes talking about field trips. That's just the beauty of the show. We can talk about what the hell we want to talk about. So anyway, we're gonna get into it for the people outside of our crew, Greg, because there's other people that's gonna watch this and be like, man, I don't care about you at the zoo, man. What's up with Tupac? You got those people too that don't want to hear about all that. So we about to get into it. But y'all people who gonna watch this and be like, who they think they is, just talking about their life. So anyway, Keefe D's trial for the 1996 murder of Tupac Shakur is now delayed until 2026. Did you hear that, Greg?
No, why?
Yeah, guess who broke that news?
Who?
Mini Me.
Oh wow!
Mini Me broke that news a little while, maybe yesterday or whatever. And then I told her we'd talk about it today. Mini Me don't miss. Right. So yeah, we're gonna get into this, Greg. So what they saying is they have new findings that will vindicate him. Is possible, is what they're saying. So this is Vibe magazine. I picked their article. I like when I'm doing hip hop stories, I like to use the hip hop magazines because they usually have a little bit more insight on situations because they've been covering this Tupac's mess since back when Tupac was alive. So
right. Let's
get into it. So it says, and it's wrote by Preezy Brown. I always like to give credit to Preezy Brown. Okay, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, long-awaited murder trial for his alleged role in the 1996 shooting death of rapper Tupac Shakur has been postponed until 2026. Now, it was originally scheduled for March 2025, which would have been next month, but the delay came after Davis's attorney filed a motion on February 14th requesting more time to prepare. The motion emphasized that with every new piece of evidence presented, it is increasingly evident that crucial facts in the case remain unexamined. This case involves decade-old allegations, and we need to list. I guess they basically said, since it's so old, it's new evidence or just evidence that needs to be looked into. It looks like there are quite a few things that are left to be done to get this case prepared, Judge Kearney stated. And so she's saying basically that the judge has granted it, and that's about it. Intended to have charges dismissed, signed the passage of time. Okay, so yeah, that's it. The rest of it, they just talking about stuff we already know about the case. So what's your thoughts on that, Greg?
Man, the Tupac and Biggie unalive, events. I just, I don't know what's real and what's not real, man. Because, seemed like Keefe D was probably the closest to, a potential suspect in his death because he was there. And I think I've seen like some stories, interviews, of him, being in the car and, people shooting at Tupac and blah, blah, blah. So, I think he probably knows more than what is being, said or whatnot. But technically, who actually did it, who pulled the trigger, man, will we ever really know the truth about that, man? Seriously, will we? Biggie, we done seen 18 million docs. We done seen, this person saying this person saying that, but nobody has really pinpointed who did it, Right. So if he really did it and they got evidence that he really did it, would this be happening? Would they be postponing it until 2026? I don't know, bro.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I love Tupac, y'all, right? I love Tupac. Two things I love. I love Tupac, I love Justice. But
Yeah.
I'm tired of this case, man. Like, it's like it's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I want to see the whoever killed Tupac. I want to see them brought to justice. If whoever has something to do with it, but it's getting to the point where it feel like we just kind of running on a treadmill with this Tupac case. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you doing a lot of this, but it don't feel like we going anywhere. And I'm just getting tired of that. So I'm with you. Like, how much evidence do they really have if they just go ahead and postponing it to 2026?
Right.
Like, why would you even be holding them and doing all that if it's no urgency? I
Right.
bet you they probably would. I bet you they wouldn't postpone Diddy's trial.
Right.
So I don't know, man. That Tupac situation, who knows? Like you said, did he really do it?
And then, man, you know what I always think about, man? Like, how, like, out of the major people that have passed away, whatever the case may be, if you was a major superstar, why is it that, most cases get solved pretty quickly, but for these two guys, the major figureheads of hip hop, you can't come to an agreement on who killed them. I don't. That has always bothered me. How can these two, out of all the hip hop individuals that's ever been, you know, in hip hop, the two major figures, their murders can't be solved? I've never understood that. So to me, I feel like the higher ups, or the people that's the gatekeepers, I think they know, but they just feel like it's better left undone than to actually, put the finger on who actually did it, man. I just
Yeah,
how can them two, like, out of all people, you would think that they would have rushed to get justice for Tupac, rushed to get justice for Biggie Smalls, but it almost seemed like they just swept it under the rug, and now we having these type of situations 20 years later.
yeah,
you know
exactly. It's like, come
I
on.
don't like it. I don't like
Hey,
it.
I don't like it at all either. Hey, guys, Greg, I don't know if this has anything to do with us. Shauna said her sister can't comment. Can we help her? I don't know. I don't know.
um
I don't know if it's any settings we got on our end. Is she a subscriber? Um, if she is, maybe she got to subscribe, but anybody should be able to chat. Yeah, that's the thing. Like that. I see G Money. Let me throw him up there. G Money said, Diddy did it. And I also think it was inside roles. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna touch on kind of what you said, Greg, too. My theory is like, amongst all kind of reasons, like multiple reasons could be true. But what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking it got a lot to do with the time period, and it just shows us how corrupt the system was, because we didn't have an algorithm back then. We didn't have millions of people with phones in their hands and millions of footprints on Facebook and Instagram. And, we didn't have all that. Basically, you could buy and pay for a narrative. You could buy and pay for law enforcement. So it was so much corruption that I believe in the Tupac situation, so many people was paid off, wiped evidence, in an era where it was like more the Wild Wild West, where like now that stuff still goes on, but with all the technology and the way everybody is up, everybody's behind, it's so much harder to get away with stuff. And I ain't talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about TikTok, YouTube, and all these other avenues is solving cases where you can't have that corruption. As the top can't control it like they used to. And so I think it really points to how much corruption. Because if you've been following this, you know that the cops was paid off, and it was cops who was bloods who worked actually for the police force high up. So it was so many ways that they could bury the truth in that era. I think that's one of the main reasons why it might not ever be solved. Hopefully it is, but that's one of the reasons why I think now recently you ain't too many people getting away with it back like they were back then. You know what I'm saying? Because even back then, like now, say Pop Smoke, right? It's like now they could track the person who unalived, and they could track them by their car, they could track them by their phone. It's so much they can do. Whereas back then, like I said, as long as you paid the right people and the technology wasn't really where it is, you could just get away with murder a lot easier back then because everything was bought and paid for. Remember that what the narrative in the media was bought back then. It wasn't like it is now where you got people screaming on social media and then stuff go viral. So I just think, like I said, when I think about the Biggie and Tupac, I just think about the fact that we don't know, like everything is buried. It just points to all the new corruption that we've been finding that's been going on back then in that era that we didn't even know.
You know what, bro? That's a good point because, like everybody, like you just named Pop Smoke. Then you can look at the rapper out of Memphis. I don't know why his name is fleeting me right now. You know what I'm talking about? The rapper out of Memphis who got killed in broad daylight.
Oh, you talking about Young Dolph?
Young Dolph, right.
Okay, right.
You made a good point because back then, cameras wasn't everywhere. Cell phones, you didn't have, the phones that we have now, where everybody's recording everything. So nothing gets past pretty much anybody. So as soon as a crime happens, next thing you know, you got 50 cameras sending videos, that is a good point, bro. The technology was not the technology that we have today.
Nah. And check this out. If you a corrupt sergeant, right? Say you a corrupt police officer, sergeant, you run Vegas because it happened in Vegas. I'm gonna just use the most simplest example so y'all can see what I'm saying. If you a corrupt sergeant, let's say back in when Tupac got killed, all right, you had a few witnesses said they saw this, saw that. The camera ain't all like that. You don't really have much pressure. Whoever did it could pay me $100. Say I'm the corrupt sergeant. They could pay me $50,000, $100,000 or whatever, and I'll make sure all type of stuff gets shut down and don't get out to the public and get swept under the rug, right? But see now let's fast forward to that Tupac stuff happening today. Or let's, you know what I mean? If it happened in today's, by the time that person who shot Tupac, before they could get 1 mile away, they're gonna have all kind of images, everybody pulling out their phone, everybody recording. So now, before it even get to my desk, it's so much evidence out there, I gotta do right. You feel me? Now I gotta do right because the whole world kind of know what's happening, and that's what we did. That's what goes on now, which is why it's so much of a fight for our freedom of speech through these apps and stuff, because it has really put a monkey wrench in the corruption game. And so now a lot of things we're getting justice for stuff not because they became good citizens over the night, and I'm talking about the corrupt officials in power. We getting justice because there's so much pressure being put on them before the case even really get to them. We on the internet sending Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. we sending information all over the place. By the time it get to them, they like, you gonna have no choice but to really look into this case.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true, bro. That's the difference.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
We got one. Hey, look, we got one grainy footage of Biggie coming out of that place. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen that, Greg?
Yeah, I
Where
seen
it's
it.
like that. Okay, right. So now, if this happened now, you would have hundreds of that type of footage, all type of angles everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. It's just the times is definitely definitely would different. They would have had the Tupac. That thing would have been solved that night. It would have been so much information.
Just like Nipsey Hussle. Same thing.
Yep. That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
They had video footage of everything he did.
Yeah.
Coming and going, not even just the scene.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. The Nipsey Hussle is a perfect example of something happening. Now, if Nipsey Hussle would have happened back when Tupac happened, we wouldn't know who killed Nipsey Hussle, I bet.
And then you got the streets ain't gonna talk. You got the snitching, all that plays a big part in it as well. So you kind of need the cameras and the phone cameras, the cameras that be on buildings, ring cam. You need that in order to kind of get justice, because at the end of the day, it's still, the streets and people not want to be involved, because then their families could, be in trouble. And, so the cameras and the phones and all the other technology is actually needed in order to be able to solve these crimes, because the average person ain't gonna say nothing.
Oh, they ain't gonna say nothing. They ain't gonna
You
say
know
nothing.
what I'm saying?
They not gonna say nothing, bro. So, hey, my boy, Floyd Mayweather, is in the news, Greg. Apparently, huh? What Floyd?
So what Floyd did, man?
Floyd crazy. I'm gonna be
right.
All right. So look, so I'm gonna just tell the article how it is. We'll talk about it, but Floyd is crazy, bro. Floyd's something else. But this is allegedly Floyd instructed a bodyguard to attack a man for filming him, and this guy is seeking 3.3 million in damages. This is courtesy of the Jasmine brand. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, Edward Andre Torres alleges Mayweather instructed his security to, quote, handle him, unquote, after he started recording the boxer on his phone. He claims the bodyguard struck him, knocked him to the ground, and tried to take his phone. Eduardo says he suffered severe pain and suffering and is suing for assault, battery, emotional distress, and negligence.
He gonna get paid.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Greg. Hey, look, that was a quick one. Hey, look, Greg, you was ready for that one.
He gonna get paid.
He gonna get paid now. Yeah, he gonna get paid. In other words, that sounds very believable, Tony. Greg.
Yes, bro. Yes, I can see it.
If I had to, hey, Greg, if I had to tell y'all and give y'all my honest. Being somebody who has been in the Floyd Mayweather camp for years, know Floyd Mayweather, we all talk to this day, different people that were with Floyd or whatever, like, so it's still connections there. But hey, one thing Floyd and them respect about me is I'm honest and I'm not out. I don't be out to get them or it's nobody. At first, they didn't know that because when you first hear me, you don't know how far I'm gonna go on stuff or how far I'm gonna take it, but I ain't never out to get nobody. So I just talk honestly and leave it at that. So if I was to just say honestly, what I think, it definitely Floyd has had, like, he will have his security handle some stuff. Like, and he don't like to be recorded. So if it was me, it sounds believable. I don't know if he's gonna get $3 million. I think that dude gonna end up settling. Excuse me. It sounds like he'll settle for about 30 grand, 40, 50 grand, maybe 50 grand. I think cash. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think he's suing for $3 million. But I think if Floyd give him $50,000 cash, it'll go away.
Oh, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, Floyd ain't gonna let that. Floyd, Lauren, no, we all know. That's what I said. We got a smart group. They all know that thing about to get. Everybody know Floyd about to get that settled.
Yeah,
he don't want that to get no legs.
No, he ain't got time for that, man. He got way too much money to be playing around with somebody he done had his bodyguards whoop on. Right. You know what he like, what you want, bro? Just, man, here, go. Just get me out of the dude.
Hey, the dude telling a story that the whole world believes. You know what I mean? Just like it don't sound not like Floyd. You know what I mean? So it's like, handle that.
Yeah.
Don't let that get out of control, because it will. And next thing you know, you got a bigger problem. So Floyd, don't get that man 50,000 and keep it moving, man. Don't let it spiral into, stuff get crazy. You know what I mean? Because it ain't just this one. And Floyd and his people, I know they be watching. So check this out. I just want to tell y'all, go ahead and pay it. Because little stuff like this coming from somebody who work in media and do media, this seemed like nothing, but it wouldn't even be this case. It's to see if this get enough legs and everybody start talking about it. Next thing you know, you got everybody and their mama coming out, and you got Tony Busby representing somebody who said you beat him up too or something. So kill this story, Floyd. Pay this man, and get this story done. That's just my advice. What you think? What would you say, Greg?
Man, I would have been. Yes. He really don't have too many other options, really. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want it to get, like you say, crazy. Oh, I couldn't, sleep. Oh, I'm having this. Oh, this. And every time he come up with a new symptom, that's just ching ching. Ching ching, ching ching. So the best way to stop the cash register from ringing is to go ahead and come up with a sum that's gonna make it go away. And it's a sum that'll make it go away.
Oh yeah, it's always what that $1 million man used to say, Greg. Everybody's got a price.
Everybody got a price.
Remember you say that everybody's got a price for the $1 million man.
Yeah, and we do. To a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't gonna just like do anything to like your family members or anything like that, but in business, the right number is the right number.
Right. Because as we blow up, I'm sure there'll be an incident where somebody will do too much, and I might have to like just control them a little bit. And like get them out of my face, and then I'll probably have to settle.
Absolutely.
That happens. So, just don't let it get, the thing is, it happened to the diddler. You get to thinking you could just treat people any kind of way, and then you let something that you could have, a fire that you could have put out, turn into something crazy. That's exactly what happened to Diddy. People don't know. Cassie was had been trying to get a settlement and get some money out, for her pain and suffering and all the stuff she went through. She had been trying to get that out of Puff the whole year, since the beginning of the year, and really before that. And I'm talking about 2023. But Diddy was thinking he was unstoppable, on top of the world, and was dogging her and ignoring her and spinning her and saying he was going to give, and then he didn't. And then he, gave her that little backhanded shout out on that BET Lifetime Achievement Award when he said, thank you for holding me down, Cassie, in the dark times. And he was really, what they said when he did that, he was like, antagonizing her about the whole settlement thing. So this thing went on for a while. And then when it got to the point where she was just like, I'm doing this or whatever, by the time it was too late. I mean, he paid, but the public would have never heard about all this stuff. And then that video wouldn't have came out. All that stuff that happened wouldn't have happened had he took care of Cassie when she was just trying to handle it behind the scenes. So that was an incident where his ego got the best of him, and he paying dearly for it.
I mean, to be honest with you, bro, I think ego kills men more so than anything, bro. I mean, if you really think about it, it probably kills people more, men more than cancer, more than, alcoholism. Your ego is the one thing that, for whatever reason, we haven't figured out how to control it in moments that matter. And you end up, in the situations that you end up in, man. You don't be thinking about what you're doing in the moment because your ego overruns your mental, and you end up making major mistakes. And then you look back and be like, man, if I'd just had my ego in check, I wouldn't even been in that situation.
You ain't never lied, Greg. You ain't never lied. So yeah. So at the end of the day, Mayweather gonna just take care of Torres. You know he was out there trying to get a shot at the champ, and Floyd had one of them bad days, and he said, "Man, go handle him." And I know they didn't just do. I know Floyd is security enough to know they just didn't beat them. They didn't beat him to a pulp. They probably just kind of aggressively pushed him and made him keep it moving. You know what I mean? But whatever it was, going to take care of it because he done filed it now, and you don't want this thing to get out of control. But what you gonna say, Greg?
Got some giants,
Oh so man,
a smack to the face could feel like you got
right. A smack to the face could put your whole face in your lap.
Right.
He probably had to pick his face up off the ground.
He had to pick it up off the ground, bro. For sure.
Hey, look. If it was that bad, the way he came filing, I think we would have seen pictures online and stuff. He seemed pretty thorough. But anyway, I had an amazing chicken breast, Caesar salad, and mashed potatoes from this some beautiful restaurant. It's on DoorDash. I don't know what it is, but it's a really nice restaurant. Had high ratings. And you know how I got it? Mini Me. Shout out to Mini Me. Mini Me treated me to lunch today. Gave me my second super chat of my whole YouTube career. So shout out to Mini Me for the $60 lunch. I enjoyed it. I'm full. And I want to get that again. I hadn't had a good chicken breast seasoned to perfection in a long time. And so I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Mini Me. And all I can say is don't be shy. I like eating healthy and eating good. So thank you, Mini Me. What'd you say, Greg?
I'm glad they take care of you, man. That's how it's supposed to be, bro.
Yeah, man, that's the communities. What we got next on the docket? And for the rest of y'all viewing and watching, I got my Apple Pay in there, my Cash App, like y'all told me. If y'all want to buy me lunch tomorrow, or whatever y'all want to do, I'm open for it. I'm open for business. But what you got on the docket, Greg?
Man, you see Delta trying to offer, the folks
30,000.
Yeah, 30,000 to go away.
Yeah. I was trying to tell them. I was sending an email trying to tell them I was on that flight.
Yeah, man. I thought that was pretty interesting, And I was just thinking, like, how many people are probably going to take it? You think the majority will take it? Because you know, you try to go to war, you going to war with Delta, man. They not gonna be playing around with you, even though you probably have a case. But how long will they string you out, and you end up having to spend money to try to get a major settlement? And you know, outside of maybe some bumps and bruises,
Mm-hmm.
nobody died. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if I can take a quick 30, go about my business, and nothing really happened to me, I think I might take the quick 30, man, going by my business.
I'm the same way.
You
I
know?
definitely will take that quick 30. And to retouch on what you missed earlier, I spoke on this, Greg. I said it taught me. I'm one of them people that every now and then I won't have my seatbelt on the landing. Every now and then, you know what I mean. Every now and then, I'll be like comfortable in how I am, and the lady might walk past and not notice that my seatbelt ain't back on for the landing, and so I'll be kind of thinking like, if we crash, what the hell is a seatbelt gonna do? You know, that's just kind of my thinking. And I ain't saying I do this all the time, but I'm saying there have been times when I didn't have my seatbelt on when we landed. And so I told them apparently all the passengers, which most of the time everybody has it on. So everybody had theirs on and they were hanging like bats. And it saved a lot of people from, I don't know if it saved their life, or I know if it saved them from not walking again and stuff like that, maybe. And I was saying, I looked at that article and said, what if, you know, what if I didn't have I was that one time I ain't wear my seatbelt, and then the
Right.
plane flipped over and everybody else hanging with like bats, and I'm on the ceiling of the plane, broke up into pieces. So it taught me to make sure when I do get on a plane, wear that damn belt.
Yeah, you gotta keep that
Thought
belt
a
on.
belt was pointless, huh?
So you gotta keep that belt on, man.
Yeah, I thought a belt in an airplane was pointless, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought if the seatbelt came into play, I was done anyway, and I was wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you never know, man. You know, so you gotta take all the safety precautions that's available to you when when you're on these planes, man. I think that's the part that have me more nervous than anything, is that I'm not a control freak, but I like to be in control of what I got going on, right?
Right.
And when you even when you in a car, you in control of what's going on. When you in that airplane, man, you have no control. And I think that's what drives me crazy more so
Yeah.
than anything. Like,
Yeah. You
I
got no.
literally have no control. None.
So, Greg, not to cut you off, why Shauna's sister can't talk?
I don't know. I mean, we're I'm assuming she's looking at it through YouTube.
If she's
Um,
on YouTube, she should be.
yeah, so we can't really control like the comments outside of just cutting them on and cutting them off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't
Right.
know if is it something wrong with her computer, or I don't know, because we can't really do much with the comments outside to turn them on and turn them off.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, we gotta figure that out. I don't know. Um, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know
Ain't nothing
either.
we can do. Also, Greg, another thing, we gotta make everybody moderators. Um, do you know how to do that? Or I mean, I think it's like something you just click.
To make them what now?
Oh, I like to hear this. Um moderators where they can eventually we gotta make them moderators where people could block. Right now you handling it, but as we get more people, we're gonna need more moderators, which it gives them abilities. Like when everybody has chats, you have moderators, and then they can like block people and stuff. You know what I mean? When it's like we don't see it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you about it when we get off, but we talked about that earlier too, but we're gonna need some. We had some trolls earlier. We've been
Oh, okay.
starting to get more trolls. We starting to get popping. I told y'all. Yeah, did
Okay.
you see next did you see Mini Me said Target lost $15.7 billion since ending DEI?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate that they got to be going through this because of the whole DEI initiatives. And Target seems to be the one who really has the target on literally the target on their back. You know what I'm saying? It seems
Right.
like they're taking more of the brunt. Like I think on the 28th they're doing, supposedly it's supposed to be like a blackout. Target, whoever's doing the DEI stuff, they're asking people to not shop on that day. And then after that, they're going after Amazon. It's a guy on Instagram. I think he's like the president of this,
Uh-huh.
and he's running around, trying to get people on board because his theory is this is how you stop, people from doing things that the majority of people feel is unjust. You hit them in the pocketbooks.
Yeah.
So they're going after Target and the others, and then from the looks of it, they're going to turn their heads to Amazon and try to affect their bottom line, as well. So this comes with the territory, man. Once people get used to a certain system being in place, and then you take that system away, and they feel like it's unfair.
Uh-huh.
Nowadays, the remedy is to, show you that we can affect your bottom line.
Right. Yeah, yeah. And it's really happening. And people is saying that that's not even enough. That's how hard people are willing to go. So it
Right.
says here, Target has lost 15.7 billion in market value since tanking their support for DEI. And they saying that more, like you said, more are Walmart and other ones are about to follow. And it's funny, y'all. Greg don't even know that we talked about that earlier today. I did an announcement for February 28th. One of my listeners sent me a message and said, asked me would I bring awareness, and she typed the whole script out about what you're talking about. And honestly, I didn't even know about it. February 28th. And so I read it. She broke down all the reasons of everything you just talked about not buying. And had people in the chat was like, oh, they're gonna get on board. So we've been spreading awareness of that message, Greg, and I didn't even know how big that work, how much it got around. So we did that earlier. Ain't that a coincidence? Like we literally was talking about that.
15.
They got I think the peoplesunion.com or something. I shot it out the website and everything.
I mean, it's already working. I mean,
Yeah.
15.7 billion. I don't
Oh,
care
it's
how
working.
big you is. You gonna feel
But that's
that.
you're gonna feel that. And that's why I tell people, they know the power of these platforms and they are attacking it, but like slowly but surely. But that's why I always tell people, if y'all like these truth telling platforms, and it ain't just mine, but we have to support all of these truth telling platforms because this is the only place we gonna have power to do this. Don't think they're stupid. They know that podcasters, influencers, media outlets, and now the new media is YouTube and TikTok and even Facebook a little bit. So they know that. And so what they're trying to do is either suppress you on certain platforms or they starting to send out checks. And so you're going to see a lot of podcasts, a lot of our favorite podcasts, and a lot of our favorite YouTube channels over this next year or so are going to become very, very vanilla because Target and all these places losing money are going to smarten up and know that let me start dumping some money into the pockets of these YouTubers and these podcasters so we can keep our name good. And so what we have to do is support our truth tellers so that they don't be running and accepting that money from Target and Walmart. Because I'm telling you, like I'm always ahead of the curve. That's been me all my life. you are going to start seeing a lot of these YouTubers and podcasters content get real vanilla because these companies, these big companies, not about to keep letting these losses happen. So I'm gonna say it again. Just make sure, not even just me, make sure you subscribe. Make sure y'all support all our Truth Telling podcasts and YouTubers because it's an attack on them right now because of stuff like this. We able to come together and make Target lose. When the last time Target lost money like that?
No, it's never happened.
Never happened.
No,
never happened.
And here's the flip side to it. I don't really understand. I mean, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. To me, it just seems like outside of the words, the actual, meaning behind it, if you're a business, you would think to, let me actually be a part of that because I want to bring everybody in the tent. And when you have more people in the tent, you have better ideas. You know what I'm saying? And they just coming from a certain group of individuals who have always been in charge of making decisions. Now you got everybody at the table to make these decisions. In prime example, Costco's, which I love, they get it. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep everybody at the table. And i.e., they are benefiting from, not going the direction that everybody else is going in. They're like, we're keeping everybody at the table and we're going to benefit from it. And they are.
Right. Because it sounds crazy. What if it was a podcast or a YouTube or anybody like that? What if I was like, I don't support diversity. I don't want to have anything. I don't want to help that cause out. That's a horrible business model. Like you said, but I don't want to spend with nobody who even think like that.
Right.
What do you? Because diversity and include, it's about everybody too. It's not just blacks, not just women. It's also about giving people a chance that just come from poor backgrounds or poor areas or don't have any chance, was born with no chance in HE double hockey sticks. That's what it's about. It's bigger than one group. It's a concept that, we want to make money, but we also want to make sure that everybody ain't born on a level playing field. That's just how life is. So even me, you, and people in the chat, I want to give some assistance, or I want to help out those who are less fortunate. I want to give them a chance. I don't want to get rid of that.
You know what, man? You know what it makes me feel like? It makes me feel like we can't get ahead because someone is always trying to pull us back to a time that, because of the diversity of our country now, it's going to be hard to get back to what whoever is thinking we need to be. We're too forward thinking. There's too much technology. We're too educated. It's just too hard to. We're not the same human beings as we used to be, say 50, 60 years ago. We're forward thinking individuals now. I mean, just think about what we're doing right now. We're in a group with a diversity of different people and personalities. That's how the world is nowadays. It's not going to change either. That's the problem. So it's going to be this fight now where corporations are going to be losing money. People aren't going to be able to be at the table with each other anymore. And at the end of the day, man, it just sets our society back.
Yeah. And the people are not playing. And I'm glad that I've been 2 years plus, I've been building this platform and going and representing the people the entire way. Before it was quote unquote sexy. 2.5 years ago, the people weren't. It wasn't like as what we weren't united in the way we are now. 2.5 years ago, we were more united in our groups, separate little groups that we had. Your people, my people. But like now, with all the stuff, because everybody taking a beating. See, when everybody taking a beating, now we all united. I don't care what you look like, how old you is. If you have money, don't have money, we all united because now we know, like, hold up, it's getting crazy. So I'm just glad I've been at this party. You know what I mean? I'm glad that a lot of other people getting on board. But like I said, I tell people all the time, I made my name by going after Walmart and these different organizations representing people. That is how I made my name. So that's why that aspect of what I do will never go anywhere, because that is in my soul. Like, I don't like, I figured, like, I like to do it. And I've seen that there's a lot of people who think like me and understand that when we come together, we can change whatever we don't like, because we control the dollar. And we don't have to put up with nothing we don't like if we can unite. But they are good at keeping us divided, but they ain't good enough.
Well, they used to be, but platforms have put a chink in their armor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's because they used to could do these things and no one really had a voice, or no one really had a platform to go, speak about these issues. So, back in, you can maybe get to a news broadcast back in the day in hopes that they'll bring it to the attention of the world. Now, anytime anything happens, you got multiple millions of people on these different platforms, and they're able to see what's going on. And most of these people are free thinkers, so they can get on board with things that they feel are injustice. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah, me too, man.
I love it. Bro, I was putting so much pressure on people. I was getting personal emails from JetBlue. Can you please take the video down? We are so sorry, blah, 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 blah. Because they done disrespected and called the women and did, one of them crazy stories. I put the heat on them, had about 1 million views, and I had my whole team ready to boycott JetBlue. And, JetBlue and not Whole Foods, but it's a store like Whole Foods, who followed a black female, and was following her around in the store and just harassing her. And he was all on camera, and it was it was just nasty. I don't even want to go into the detail of how he treated her. Well, it came across my desk. I made a video about it. It went viral. All my people was on board. I told them to call the grocery store. That grocery store reached out to me. That manager got fired. This is me on the everyday. This ain't. I could tell y'all probably 100 of these stories, and all from the last 2 years. So when I'm the right one for the job, let's just say that, or should I say we the right one for the job, because I've been doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I love it, and because I don't like the way they play in our face. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, you already getting over, but that ain't even enough. Getting over ain't even enough no more for them, Greg. Now they want to they just want to run it. I can't even say it. You know what I mean? But they just want to run it through the mud now. And it's like, no.
They want it to be like it used to be, where they, didn't have regulations, where they can just trample over, the everyday citizen. And because of these voices like yours, ours, the day of them being able to do that has, come and gone. And they don't really understand, they still try to test the theory. Like, is it really gone? And you end up losing 15.7 billion because you still trying to test the theory.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're doing too much.
And people aren't having it anymore, man. That's just
I love it, bro.
Yeah, man, they're not having it, bro.
Look,
we finally got a voice.
Yeah, we finally got a voice. I didn't even know that it was a big thing. I know how big it is now because you mentioned it. But when I see that just show, like with me, it's organic because this is what I do. So it ain't even like I read it earlier because I know it's a big thing that everybody talking about. The first time I heard about the boycott on February 28th was when she sent it to me last night. And I told her I would read it on the show in the morning. I didn't know anybody. I mean, I figured maybe some people knew about it, but I didn't know if anybody even knew about it. I just, look, I feel like this is something that need to be out there, and I did it. So when you came on this show, immediately talking about it, I'm like, wow. But see, that's why I'm always in tune with my listeners. I tell people that all the time. I know I'm not going to catch everything because I'm too researching certain stuff too much. So I know I miss stuff. But as you see, our listeners don't miss whatever I miss. Our listeners gonna catch, and that's why I'm so glad I went ahead and read it. I didn't even know it was a big thing, bro, at all. I hadn't seen nothing about
it. It's gonna get bigger. Yeah, it's gonna get bigger because that's
Thanks,
the 28th. The 28th.
Michelle said she's gonna send me the whole list. I appreciate that, Michelle.
Right. On the 28th, that's gonna be so they've already lost that much money. So on the 28th,
right, and it ain't even got, like you said, it ain't got going yet. It's about to get going now. And but Felix, if you don't know, Greg, Felix is Kobe One Shinobi. You know that, right? You know that?
Yeah, Felix changed his name, huh?
Yeah. Felix changed his name. He was getting beat up in the track earlier. They didn't know. They thought it was a newcomer coming in talking too much, and they was all over him. And we was like, hold on, that's Felix.
Yeah,
and Felix changed his name. I said, yeah, to make an announcement, but he said he did. But our chat, it was so much up in the chat, people didn't understand. But and so Felix, I see he said what happened with JetBlue. It was just it was a big story at the time, but I ain't gonna go into it. But basically, a representative at the company was very disrespectful to a woman on in customer service, and it was really bad. And so everybody was tripping about it. But my story did like 1 million views and was getting around. And so the head of, I don't know if it was like the publicist team or the marketing, I forgot. He emailed me directly from JetBlue and we talked about it. And then they fixed it on their end. And then I made a video, let everybody know that it was fixed. So I saw Felix had asked about that. So I just wanted to give him a little bit more context on that JetBlue story. But this was like a year and a half ago. This is like in the very early stages of my journey, but I was just starting to really make a name for myself and really build my following.
Hey man,
what's up?
Listen, man, I know the kind of heat I'm getting ready to take right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick my toe in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that Elon?
I told you know. Hey, look, everybody in the chat knew what was coming because your voice. He got that. I'm starting to love Elon in his voice. But go ahead, Greg. Keep us in the loop, man.
You gonna like this, bruh.
Okay, let's go. Hey, look, I'm open.
Yeah, he revealed that Twitter is about to start paying creators.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Look at
he getting in the creator game. That's letting you know how big this thing is getting, man. Elon, like, wait a minute. Let me get in this game too. Let me pay these creators to do what everybody else, what Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, let me get in the game. So yeah, I think Elon about to start paying creators, man, on Twitter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You like that breaking news, huh?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the update, Republican Greg. No. Hey, no, but you know what's funny? My uncle, I'm gonna be like my uncle. Rest in peace, my uncle Art. He hated the Republicans, right?
Right.
But guess what he watched all day long?
What?
Fox News.
Oh my!
All day long with his face tore up. I'm like, if you hate them so much, and you know Fox is pro Republic, whatever, bro, he watched Fox News from the early morning. The only time he wouldn't be watching Fox News is when he's watching sports. But I used to always crack up at him because I used to be like, man, why do you watch them all the time? He's like saying, he said, you got to watch your enemies closer. So I said, all right.
That's hilarious.
Bro, every time you walk in the house, he got Fox News on. But he hated Republicans. So I don't know. It's just funny. But yeah, so Elon about to pay creators.
Yep.
I think Elon texted you that personally, Greg. I think y'all got cool.
I wish I did have the straight end to Elon. I ain't gonna need cap.
It's true. Elon, if you're listening.
Right.
Elon, if you're listening, G Money.
Let us get some of that Twitter money, Elon.
Oh man. We ain't nothing, man. We can get bought by a good stimmy. He said they sending out $5,000. And they've been talking so good about it. I've been looking at people like, I've been looking at my Facebook like, you was the man on dog in them. Now they talking about sending $5,000. You reposting it and adding commentary and exclamation marks and heart emojis. I said, I feel you. I ain't gonna hate.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then the crazy part about it, in the same breath, you got the president talking about he the king. I'm like, man, what's going on, man? You know, because he came in, just kind of talk about the story a little bit. I guess they have the congestion pricing in Manhattan and all of New York. You know, in order to get into New York or Manhattan, you got to pay almost like a toll. And I guess some way, somehow, he did an executive order to stop that. And in the midst of that, the White House put out a tweet or on X or on his platform of a fake Time magazine cover with him with a crown on.
Saying, I saw that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Long live the king.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, man, what is going on? Like, do they really believe that we're going to stand by and allow the country to turn into what do you call it, a monarchy or whatever they do over in Europe, where they got kings and queens? Yeah. Well, it's what they do over in
you're talking about a monarchy, then, right?
A monarchy, yes, kings and queens, right? Yeah, right. Monarchy. And I'm like, we're not going to allow that to happen here in the United States. You think people are crazy? Just imagine if they try to propose a monarchy in the United States, bro. That would be just crazy.
Ain't nobody going for that.
Right, but they subliminally trying to almost like test the waters to see.
Right. You know how they do, yeah. And see, that's what I'm trying to tell people. You got to pay attention when the water's being tested. That's how I am. And most people, I ain't talking about the people in our community, but most of the public, they wait till the rain hit them on their forehead, and then they want to go try to get their umbrella and this and that. See, we like to watch the weather, look what's going on, and already have our umbrella out before rain hit us. And so that's what, like, watching this stuff. It's like they testing the waters, so we gotta pay attention. Don't be just lollygagging in life, and next thing you know, we kings and queens and gestures, and they got me performing for the president. You gotta dance, and you know how they do kings and queens.
Yeah,
they'll sneak all that up on us. So we definitely got to pay attention to these little moves they trying. They think they slick.
you couldn't even see the queen. You had to, you almost had to look down at the floor when you
Yep.
in the presence of the queen. You got to kiss the
Yep.
ring for real. When you
Yep.
in the presence of them, man, it's just they
And
make the
then,
rules, the laws. They're kings and queens like back in the day.
yeah. And if they don't like whatever talent you bringing, they just do this.
Yeah.
And you out of here, like on the Remember the Time video with Michael Jackson. Remember?
Yeah, and you be the king or queen until you take your last breath, and then it
Right.
goes to your
There you
son
go.
and your daughters. So it never stops. Your family stays in power forever, which is
Yeah.
insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you really think about it, it's crazy, man. You know what else I saw though that was kind of crazy to me? I don't, of course, this is a little conspiracy theory, but they were saying like Elon, if you see Elon now, they was like Elon ain't never been one to have his kids as a part of anything that he does.
And I
But
peeped that about it.
nowadays, every time you seen that too?
No, I see what you're talking about. I seen people saying something about, but I didn't get into depth of the art of what they talked about. I saw
Listen, so this is what they're saying. Every time you really see Elon, he has his son on, how you put your son on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that Elon is so diabolical, he only does that to use his son as a shield just in case if somebody try to kill him.
Wow. Great.
Is that not crazy, bro?
That's crazy, bro.
And they show like multiple photos of how once he gained power, all of a sudden, every time he's taking a photo, he got his son on his shoulders. And they like he using the son for a shield.
Wow.
And I got to looking at it. I'm like, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, man, these cats are so off the chain, man. I would not put it past them, like for real. They don't want to die. And Elon is, if they can shoot at Trump like they did, then they can do the same thing to Elon. There's enough people mad at him right now for something like that to actually occur. And he got the son, man. Like it's probably like 10, 15 photos. They like, look at here, look at this one, look at this one. I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy right there.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's funny. I don't know about that, but I did see that somebody. I didn't know that's what the article was about to be about, but now that I see, they were basically saying that they didn't. You had to read to find out what the reason was, but according to you, I did. I think somebody sent me like a message saying something about that too, like saying like, did you see an article about Elon possibly using his son as a shield? Somebody like messaged me that.
Yeah,
so now I'm putting the two together. That's what they were talking about. Whatever article you talking about.
Right.
Wow.
And you see your boy Kanye. You see what he done came to the table with now.
Well, he not a Nazi.
Yeah, Kanye. They done whoop Kanye so bad behind the scenes. He like, man, can I please take it back, y'all? Can I please take it back?
Yeah, he said after further review, he threw a challenge flag. He said after further review, I'm not a Nazi. I just looked at my bank account, and that if I don't send these shirts out, I'm gonna be outdoors, and ain't nobody gonna make them. So I just realized I'm not a Nazi, guys. I just joking. He said, I just joking.
Right. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, man, you cannot be playing in people's face, man. You don't really. I'm like, Kanye, man. You can't, you know how we are about, the S word. You can't. Those people had, a very, very messed up situation. Why would you taunt him with it? Why would you taunt
Yeah.
somebody with that? Where
Right.
millions of people were enslaved and died, and it's just horrible, man. And you gonna turn around and throw that in their face,
Yeah,
man?
yeah,
You
that's
can't do that.
diabolical.
That's diabolical, man.
That's diabolical, Greg.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. Anyway, bro, I saw something that I thought me and you would like since we kind of in the money game.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, um, uh, Alexander of the
Okay.
Orlando, Oklahoma City Thunder. He fired.
His agent, right?
Yeah, man, and he said because he want to represent himself, so he can keep 100% of his three million supermax contract.
Okay.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? He like, you're not getting, you're not, you're not getting 10%, 20% of this 300 million, bro. Can you imagine the agent get that phone call and he
Right.
like he over there happy, probably high fiving his wife, like, yeah, we about to get 20% of 300 million, baby. And then that phone ring, and they like, we no longer need your services, sir. We gonna do this on our own. Man, bro, 300 million?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, look, he like, uh, hey, look, he like, I'm SGA. My money, whatever I'm getting is to the max. What I need you for? Hey,
Right.
you feel me?
I'm
You ain't
getting it
about to,
regardless.
yeah, I'm getting it regardless. I'm SGA. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
don't I don't need you to represent me on this layup.
Nah, boo. Hey, look. Forrest Gump could represent him
Right.
and get him that same money. So I
Right.
don't blame him.
Right. What? Wimby? You see mini
Oh
me
my
breaking?
God. Legion Hoops and Mini Me both broke this at the same time. So I'm gonna give Mini Me the credit. Breaking. Victor Wembanyama is expected to miss the remainder of the season with a deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder.
That's
Y'all,
not
he has
good.
a deep vein thrombosis. You know what that
That's
is,
not
Greg?
good. I mean, that's a blood clot, right?
Yep.
That's not good, bro.
Man.
Once you start messing with them blood clots, um, that's what was with LeBron and D Wade. The third one, what was his name? You know what I'm talking about? That was
Oh.
on that team with LeBron when he was in Miami.
Uh-huh. Oh, which
Um,
one?
I can't
What
even.
what position did he play? I know it. What position? What was
He
he playing?
was he was part of the big three.
Oh, Bosh. Bosh.
Bosh,
Damn.
Chris Bosh.
Yeah, Chris Bosh.
Once he started getting them blood clots, man, it was pretty much over for him.
Yeah, you right about that, Greg.
Yeah, them blood clots ain't nothing, because technically, once you start getting them, then they could eventually go to your heart, and it could be over for you, man. You gotta be taking blood thinners.
Yep.
I hate to hear that for Wimby, man. That might be, yeah, that might not be
Oh my
good.
God.
Yeah, that might not be good.
Man, and somebody, guess what they just said, Greg? Somebody said every time this is Adrian Ashton says, every time I hear blood clots, I think of Chris Bosh and how it forced him to end his career. Prayers up to Wimby, man.
Yeah,
Hopefully he comes back stronger.
yeah, yeah,
I hate to hear that, y'all.
yeah, man. I just think about it, man. He was just making his impact, and now that just goes away. You got to sit down because nobody, no, I mean, you know how they try to keep you on the court, you know, with this kind of injury, that kind of injury. The one thing they're not going to play with is
It's
them blood clots.
Yeah.
They're not going to do
Yeah.
that. You know? So, yeah, man, prayers to Wemby and his family because that's not good. That's not good at
Man.
all. In one vein, we talking about one of these young guys getting ready to get a super max contract, and then in the midst of us talking about that, you get breaking news about a young talent who is about to be in the same situation where he's going to be able to get that max contract. Now all that is in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody in the NBA is going to play with that. You know,
No.
if he can't get a clean bill of health, nobody is going to sign off on him playing basketball. They're not going to do it. I don't care if he was 7,000 feet tall and could do, you know, what Wemby can do. It's too much of a, you know, a situation where they could be liable if, you know, the worst happens while he's out there on the court.
Yeah. Wow, bro. Yeah. So prayers to Wemby and his family. Hate to hear that. And let's hopefully he get up and speak. But since we kind of talking about bad news right now, I want to get your thoughts on LeVar Ball, man.
Well, I mean, you know, he's an older gentleman. What? He's probably late 60s. You know, and those types of things, you know, can happen. Look, it happened to Deion Sanders. I mean, he just so happened he caught it before they would have to amputate the whole foot, but they still amputated like 3 of his toes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you get older, man, it's you just don't know what your body is going to do because of all the things you've done to your body up to that point, right? You don't really pay attention to all the things that you do to your body, but you can best believe when you start hitting those older years, 60, 70 plus, your body's going to remind you what you did to it in one way or another. And I think that's probably what happened to him, man. And luckily, you know, it was the foot and not the whole leg, you know, or half the leg. You know, I feel sorry for him, but luckily for him, he got, you know, 3 rich sons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That, you know, and I think the mother, you know, I think she may have had a stroke at some point.
I remember that because they were all behind her and supporting her. But one thing we can take from this situation is things are a lot better when you have a family dynamic. You know, LeVar got his wife, he got his kids.
Yeah.
And so when things happen, just think about it. Lonzo Ball career was pretty much almost taken away from him. I'm sure they all rallied around Lonzo, you know, more recently when he was trying to get back into the league. And prior to that, they all rallied around the mom who, like you said, had stroke and she had like different things going on. And so now, you know, LeVar Ball has been, you know, having all they back and taking a lot of heat for them and doing what he could to make sure his sons are successful. And then now they all got to rally around him. So it just, you know, it's a messed up situation, but at least if you take the positive out of it, at least he has that family dynamic to be with him through this.
Yeah, he could go sit down somewhere, actually. You know what I'm saying? It's enough wealth within that family where, you know, he can literally, I mean, he seems like the type that, you know, won't do that. He'll still, you know, be LeVar You know, it's a foot. It
Yeah,
ain't
he
his.
said his spirits was up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a foot. It ain't his brain. You know, he's still who he is. He's just minus a foot. And there's so much technology out there now and different, you know, things that you can use to still be able to move around. And he has, you know, he has the wealth to, you know, see what's out there. So I think he'll be fine. I know it's unfortunate because, you know, you're not yourself anymore, but like you said, man, you got family that's with you, and you got enough resources to get what you need in order for you to have a good end of life, you know.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunate, but fortunate for him.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Hold on. I had I just making sure I see Anthony, who is doing doing our marketing and helping to put our campaigns together. I think he just got to working.
Yeah, I've been texting with him.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what's up, G Money? I like when we got two G Monies in the chat. You see, we got
Right,
G
right,
Money.
right. I'm the original, of course, but you know, eh, I could be duplicated. That's fine. Hey man, what happened? What's up with Liam Pam? Liam Payne. I know that's when you was doing a lot of deep diving on
Yeah,
charges against the two friends and the hotel
yeah.
workers was dropped.
Did you see something new broke? If it did, I didn't see it. What broke?
Well, maybe I'm late to the game, but it just said the charges against friend and the two hotel workers were dropped in connection to his death.
Oh, so say it again. So the two hotel, the charges were dropped.
Yep, the charges against the friend and the two
Mm-hmm.
hotel workers were dropped in connection to his death.
Okay, so did they? So then, so are they saying they got nobody now? Is that everybody now, or is there anybody left? Like as
Um,
far as that's charged or whatever.
yeah, I'm assuming whoever, if it unless if it was somebody else that was charged. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they haven't said that those charges were dropped, but these, you know, the two friends, I guess the friend and then the two hotel workers, they've dropped those charges.
Okay. So the friend is off, and the hotel workers. I wonder who. I wonder who's gonna be up.
Because it says as Liam Payne's death investigation continues, so the investigation is still open. It said the negligent homicide charges against three individuals, including his friend Roger Norris, has been dropped.
So check this out. And this is why people are mad. The last photo that we have of Liam Payne is he's alive, and they show him being carried in unconscious. I'm looking at the picture now. His unconscious body is being hauled up to his hotel room. 10 minutes later, he was dead. Now, one of the men who carried him and two others have been cleared. That's what they're talking about. People are shot. So I can't wait to see where this goes. Because if the last picture you got is somebody being carried in by people unconscious, and 10 minutes later they dead off a balcony, something ain't right, Greg, about that case. Something ain't right.
Yeah, man, you've been on it. So your spidey senses seem like it's telling you some definitely ain't right, man. And it doesn't seem like where's what is it? Where's fire? Where's smoke is fire?
Where's smoke is fire, man.
That's what it
And
seems
this is
like to
one of
me.
the cases. Yeah, because that just don't add. That don't add up. What about y'all in the chat? That don't add up.
You know, it's tough, man, when you be in those different, because he was in a different, this happened in a different country, right?
Yep, it happened in Argentina.
When you in them different countries, man, and you really don't know the ins and outs of the laws and the judicial system, you know,
Yeah,
it's almost like they're prehistoric compared to us. You know,
right.
so
Exactly.
so you if you savvy enough and you're from that place and your parents is tied into, this person or that person,
Uh-huh.
it's easy to get some things swept up under the rug. Very easy. Especially if you're an American. I mean, just think about all the cases. If you think about, different cases where people ended up, coming up missing or passing away, and they were in different countries, it never it's never just a shut in, open and closed case. It drags on. You never really, their way of investigating is totally different. People can get paid off a lot easier in those countries because that's just the way they do business. That's just the way they
Right.
do business.
Right. No, that's true. They can, and it's probably a lot easier to do a cover up over there. I'm sure. Just be
Absolutely.
guessing. What you think?
Yeah, because you got to think about it. He ain't over there. He At the end of the day, he Liam Payne. He ain't just over there dealing with, people who ain't of some kind of wealth or some kind of, you know, something. So they got some, political ties. They got some, some ties because of their money. And even though they may be hotel workers, but that don't mean they uncle ain't, the head of this or that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
yeah, it's tough. You can't bring your investigators from the US over to Argentina to try to investigate what actually happened because you don't know the ways of the world over there. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to talk to. So yeah, that's a tough one, man. I think
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
yeah, I think it's gonna probably end bad from the looks of it, or in to
Yeah,
the point where they're going to try to make it seem like he did it to himself. He unalived
right,
himself.
right.
That's what it's looking like to me.
I agree with you on that one, man. And speaking of ending bad, though, we talked about a lot today. But remember what they say when you was online, what they said about you, Greg?
About what? They be
When you
saying
was
a lot of stuff.
on the fraternity, when you was on the frat line, you said they called you Magic with a K.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we trying to figure out, we almost 2 hours in and you ain't mentioned the Lakers from last night. They did play. Did you watch them or you don't watch them no more? Are you mad or what?
No, I did. I was going to actually kind of tell you a story, right? So
Okay.
Luca, when Luca first got to LA, of course he brought his family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were there. They're just getting off the plane. They had, at the crypto arena, and LeBron is there 4 hours before the average he's there 4 hours. Most people don't get to the gym until like 2 hours prior to the game actually starting. And Luca
Right.
and Luca dad, they're there and they're watching LeBron, go to work. Like they're sitting there and Luca dad, people trying to talk to Luca dad, and he like hushing people up because they're so enamored by how LeBron goes about his business. And they're like, Luca dad is looking at Luca like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't taking it? That's LeBron James, and he is taking it this serious. You know, almost like
Right.
whatever they're saying about you, son, you need to get in this LeBron bag now that you over here because we're seeing it with our own eyes. And then, of course, he went out after all that, hit 40 and, you know, just killed them and, you know, did his LeBron thing. But last night I was watching the game and I think that we're still a big man away from, you know, being where we need to be. LeBron looked good. Luka didn't look all that great last night. He's kind of, you know, Luka gotta get his body right, man. He's still looking a little chubby. I don't like his body movement. I didn't even like his body language last night, to be honest with you. I think LeBron is starting to get to Luka and probably not directly like, man, you got to get your body right. But I think indirectly he's probably getting to Luka, man. But right now, I'm a little worried. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, man. I was a little worried too when I watched it. I ain't gonna lie, because you know I've been pretty positive about the change and all that. But Luka's starting to show now. Like I gotta preface this with anybody that's made it anywhere elite, they can flip a switch and turn it around. So let me throw that out there before I say this. But Luka's scaring me in the sense of me. He's adding a little credence to what Dallas, by them, you know, what they saw when they was like, we don't want to give him this super max.
Right.
And they also, just to add on what you said, they saying he has a really bad smoking problem. Did you hear that?
He's a cigarette smoker?
See, they said smoking. I assume cigarettes because of the way they said it. It would have to be. That's what I would think. Like the way they said it.
Yeah,
it ain't nothing else.
You know, I can see that.
And they say that's one of his biggest problems, and that's the problem. That's one of the major problems they wanted him to get a handle of in Dallas, and he never did. And then the people who were supposed to be like his trainers and the people that were supposed to be watching him, he basically got them fired or whatever and hired his own people to do his training. You know, that's like me. If you paying somebody personally and they supposed to watch and make sure you eat right and don't be smoking, but you the one paying them, how much they gonna be on if they your personal hire. They're not the team person.
Right. They're gonna
man. And then like you said, well, I didn't watch, I just saw the clips. But when you said you don't like his body language, that's giving me cause to pause too, because like you said, if I'm picturing the body language that you were talking about, if I think I know what you're talking about, then it's like LeBron, it's got two things. Either Luka gonna step it up and get his body together and start taking it serious, or it's gonna turn into something that we're gonna start seeing bleed onto the court, because it's different when you got somebody like LeBron around to show you how much you really not working.
Yeah. That's what he's gonna do too. He's gonna show you what you should be doing and how far away from what you should be doing if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. He gonna show you.
And see, I can speak to that. Let me tell you, like a LeBron. That's why I always have respect for these athletes, man, when you at the top like that, because the work that they put in, you cannot imagine it. You have to see it. Like you said, Luka's dad was.
Right.
See, somebody telling you ain't gonna hit. Because I'm gonna give you a personal example. Remember, I had a chance to watch Floyd Mayweather in his prime, and even a little bit starting before his prime started, and watched him during his prime and even after his prime. And let me tell you something. We would get to the gym, y'all. Let me tell you how it worked. I'm gonna give you two quick stories on Floyd Mayweather, personal stories to tell you about work ethic when you are elite or what it takes to be number one in your sport. We would get to the gym where the boxing gym where Floyd trained. We would get there every day at about, it should be like 11, lunchtime, something like that. He would start working out. Let's say if he started at noon, he would start working out, and his workout was consistent from one thing to the next with no breaks, right? He wouldn't stop till about 4, 5 o'clock, from 12 to 4 or 5. And when I'm talking about excruciating stuff, that whole time, 500 of these, 1,000 of these, 20,000 this, and crazy, and you watching them. And then he would do this back to back to back. He'd be in the ring doing this, out the ring, punching bag, sit-ups, from the ground going up, and I'm talking about non-stop. You getting tired just watching them. We leave after what, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours straight. This was every day, Monday through Friday. After 5, 6 hours straight of that, we would leave. We would get in the van. Then he would jog 15 miles. Right after that. Then we would chill, go out to eat, go have a little fun, go out, maybe even go out to the club. He didn't smoke or drink, not a drop ever, but he made sure we was all drunk. We would go out, have a good time. We would hit 3, 4 clubs. And then let's say if we hit the last club at 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, we back. Plenty of times after doing all that, he would have us get back in the van and we would follow him, and he'd go jog another 10 miles. Then after that, while we watching him jog 10 miles, maybe more, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning, now it's damn near bright lights outside. It's light outside. We go to sleep, everybody go to sleep, and then the very next day, we meet at the gym and do that exact routine Monday through Friday. And that was the entire time. Unless he didn't have a fight and he took a little small break. But that was his life, bro. And so seeing it, I feel what Luka's dad is talking about, because seeing it and hearing it is two different things, man. When you see it, you can't even believe it's possible, bro. You can't even believe that type of being in that type of shape is even possible till you see somebody do it. And so hats off to them guys, man. Like I said, so the work ethic that I had prior to ain't nothing like the work ethic I had after watching that. Because if you think you working hard, go watch Floyd Mayweather work out. And you're going to realize you ain't doing nothing.
Or LeBron, apparently.
Or LeBron, that's what I mean. Any of those elite athletes.
Right.
Like LeBron, Floyd Mayweather, Tom Brady. Man, like I said, I was blessed enough to see it in action. And man, it ain't nothing like it, bro. Ain't nothing like it, man. You will pass out. Watch it.
I mean, Floyd used to when they used to have the stuff on HBO before his fights back in the day.
I used to be on there.
Yeah, and used to be, as I'm saying, that was the time, right?
Yep, that was the time, yep.
And even then, you would be like, man, this.
Yeah, when you seen that,
you would be like, this is unreal. Where does he get the stamina from? You know what I'm saying? Where does he get the breath control from? Like how? Like you said, I played sports all my life, growing up. And
right.
a big part of it was, having your stamina up. But man, the way they go about it, I'm like, how did they even learn how to be that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, who did they see to know that that's what it was going to take in order to be the best that they've, become? Like, who did
Right.
they see? Who, what did they see to know that I'm gonna have to do this in order to be who I really and truly want to be? Almost to be who I don't even know I could actually be, but I'm gonna put the work in to find out.
Well, you know what it is, bro? This is what it is, y'all. This is the secret. One of the secrets. Those guys are born with a motor that only 1% of the world get born with. Meaning, I've noticed because I get to see how LeBron do it, and I saw how Floyd did it firsthand. And I saw him not just working out, I was around Floyd to just see him regular. And those guys have so much of a high motor, so much energy balled up, they almost have to work out like that. And I'm not saying like it ain't other things that play a role, like discipline and all that, but I'm just saying they start with a motor that's unlike Floyd probably slept 2 hours when I seen him. And he would be going and running and doing this and that. Like he couldn't sit down. And see, same thing with LeBron. So it's like, and Kobe, when you got that elite motor, you almost gotta burn that energy. And they burn that energy in their sport. You see, you know what I mean? So if you think about it, look at LeBron. Every now and then, but think about when LeBron was in his prime or when LeBron was young, you never saw him tired. You never saw LeBron tired. If you did, it was every blue moon, and he would you watch the game and know why he's tired. Same thing with Floyd. He never got tired. Whenever he fought somebody, let's say even like Sugar Shane Mosley, they would be in the fight a little bit in the first 3-4 rounds, but then after that, you getting tired, Floyd not getting tired. And that would be the difference. So for me, being able to watch Floyd firsthand and then kind of see how LeBron is, one thing people don't realize, them guys will be born with a motor that most people ain't born with. You know what I mean? Like they don't get tired. So for them to work out for 4 hours is a little bit different than an average motor working out for 4 hours. You know what I mean? They literally not getting tired. And so, you know how like you blessed with speed and you blessed with this and you blessed with that, they blessed with that endurance, that other level endurance.
Right.
And that's what I learned from watching.
And it helps when you don't put no kind of bad anything in your body either.
On top of, right. So they maximize it on top of it. Because like, yeah, LeBron, Floyd never drank a drop, never smoked nothing, ever, not eat nothing. And like you said, so when you add that in and then you eating right, and then you born with this motor, next thing you know, you don't get tired. And if you have the discipline and the desire to go with that, then that's what you got. Because then you got some people born with that motor, but they don't got the discipline and all that, so they ain't about to work out. They're going to burn their motor running around the streets. You know what I'm saying? Everybody burn their motor different.
Right.
So that's why I say I ain't taking nothing away from them. You gotta have discipline and all that to even put the work in. But once they got all that, another thing that helps them is that damn motor, bro. They don't get tired. Never tired. That was our saying in the gym. Never tired. Like, I'm tired.
Just watching.
Man, sometimes it got to the point where after we do all that, Floyd would call me and 1, 2 in the morning, hey, let's go play basketball. I got to the point where I stopped answering. Man, I'm tired. I don't want to go play no basketball at 2 in the morning.
Right.
I want to get some sleep. So, yeah, bro. But, yep, it's something to see. So, when you said, I didn't know that Luka's dad had said that. When you said that, I can feel him. Like, I can feel him. Like, when you see it, you could be, listen, Luka dad done been around them all. But when you see how they work, LeBron, it's different than anything you've ever seen.
Yeah,
So
that's what he said.
yeah, it was definitely a sight to see, man. So yeah, man. Before we get out of here, Michelle wanted to go over a quick article, Greg. So let's skip through this article right quick. This is something from Michelle, one of our crew. She sent me an article about Usher delivering Justin Bieber to LA Reid as a gift. And they kind of went into like the weirdness of that or whatever. So this from the Daily Mail, y'all. This is Michelle, a request from Michelle. She sent it to me. It's from Daily Mail. It's called How Usher Brought Beautiful, and they put that in quotes, 14-year-old boy Justin Bieber to music mogul L.A. Reid as a quote-unquote gift, and how it paved the way for the singer's friendship with Diddy. And so basically this article is about how all that came to be. And so it goes on to say the pop star who was 15 when he gained worldwide fame with his debut single One Time in 2009 was originally discovered at age 12 by industry entrepreneur Scooter Braun when he was covering pop songs by Usher and Chris Brown. But the big break came when Usher brought Bieber to the music mogul L.A. Reid as a quote-unquote gift. Reid wrote in his tell-all memoir in 2016. 1 year from being signed to Island Records by Reid, a 15-year-old Bieber spent a now infamous 48-hour period with Diddy, seemingly unsupervised at the rapper's home, where they went quote-unquote full buck crazy. Now, when you know everything about like back then, you might have heard that and maybe didn't think too hard on it. But now that you know everything that's went on in the diddler's mind and what's been taking place, I don't know if I would want my 14, 15-year-old son locked down with Diddy for 48 hours. I don't know. What about you, Greg?
Well, in hindsight, absolutely not. But you talking about, I don't know where Justin Bieber's from. I'm assuming he's probably from some small town because he got discovered on MySpace back in the day.
Right.
So, and I think he comes from a single family home. I think it's just his mom.
I think so. Yeah.
You know what I'm
His
saying?
dad not around. Yeah. His dad around because I've seen him speak on stuff. I think, unless it's just somebody acting like his dad. But yeah, he not. I don't think he was around.
He's not prominent. He's not
exactly.
prominent. Right. I remember the mom because I remember all this, and you're bringing them to Usher first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Usher discovered him, and Usher is Usher. So I just think people get jaded by stardom to the point where they're looking at, as a parent, and your son running around talking about, I want to be a star. He's singing everywhere. Every time you go somewhere, he's singing. And the first main person that he has contact with is a international superstar,
right.
Usher. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got to remember, these guys know how to do this grooming stuff. They know how to be pleasant and make promises and say, we're going to take care of him. He's going to be this, he's going to be that. And then as soon as the mom is out of sight, out of mind, they take him to the grooming expert, Diddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And by the time the mom gets back in the mix, it's contracts, there's multi-million dollars on the table, and whatever's happened to the son, they've groomed him enough not to say a word. Look, if you say something, all this could go away today.
Hey, Greg, I was laughing because not at the incident, laughing because Diddy gonna come get you, man. You called him the grooming expert. You didn't gave him a new term. I ain't say that, Diddy. This time you can't get me.
Allegedly,
This
Diddy.
Greg,
Allegedly,
called you the grooming expert.
Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Usher knew what.
So you saying basically you saying Diddy is the Mr. Miyagi of grooming, like
come on, man.
He gets you together, yeah.
Yes, Diddy.
Yeah,
Diddy
for real
was
though, it's crazy though. In all seriousness, yeah, you right though. And that's kind of what the article was talking about. The article was saying that I'm about to say Babyface. Don't let me get Babyface mixed up in this. But they were saying that L.A. Reid had did the same thing for Usher. So everybody looking kind of just like, what's really going on? Because L.A. Reid had did the same thing to Usher, sent them to the Diddy camp where they was fighting for Frosted Flakes or something. And then, so they said, then he turned around and did the same thing with Justin Bieber by sending Justin Bieber to the Diddy camp.
And you got to think about it, man. People like LA, I ain't never seen LA with no woman. And he has like feminine ways about himself when he speaks, so they're all in the culture of, homosexuality.
Now y'all see why Greg keep his camera off. That's why we gotta keep him with his camera off, because I told you, Greg, hot topics. Greg slowly turned as this show go on. I can tell Greg gonna be pissing people off by just talking regular though, because you just threw L.A. Reid a nice threw him out there and said, I ain't never seen him with no woman, and that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what my brain did? It went through and tried to find him with a woman, and I can't pull up no data in my brain of him with no woman.
I mean, he L.A. Reid. Now, come on, you already know he's supposed to have the baddest of the baddest. You can't say that about Babyface. Think about all the female Babyface, and they was partners. You know what I'm saying? They built LaFace. And LA I ain't never. I mean, I could be wrong, but I ain't seen it. So I'm gonna just go with
LA Reid done dropped
eyes.
LA Reid done dropped way too many love songs to not have no woman around. And that is kind of strange, chat. Talk to me, chat.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
And then you had bless. Rest in peace. His name is invade me now. I'm bad with names, but the head of Uptown, who passed away.
Who was the head of Uptown that passed away, y'all? The guy who signed Puff, right? Diddy, right?
Right.
What was his name? Andre
Harrell,
yeah.
Same thing. Him and L.A. Reid, super tight. You could just tell by his body language and his, demeanor that he was a part of that community as well. So when you got these guys that's in charge and that's a part of their lifestyle, that part of their lifestyle ain't gonna just stop.
Right.
It's going to continue. And then you bring in a person like, Diddy, who's a part of that lifestyle as well. And it's almost like you giving him open reins to all these young, impressionable men that he can clearly take advantage of if he wants to. And apparently he did. So, man, it's almost like it's a farming system. You thinking that your child is going to, go into this system and just, get an opportunity to be their best self, but you don't really understand and realize what's going on behind the scenes because you never get that access. Once they get them, you almost as a parent have to fight through layers to get back to your child.
Yeah, that ain't
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
And you shouldn't
R.
have to
Kelly
do all this,
too.
but you do.
Once they get them, bro, it's a wrap. They got too much money and too much power.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all. It's another lunch show in the books. I appreciate every last one of y'all. Greg got them fresh teeth, y'all.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to imagine. And we will get to the Rick Ross lawsuit. I'm gonna do some diving on that. Probably that might be an episode, a subject for tomorrow. If y'all got any subjects for the lunch show tomorrow, DM me. Or leave them in my DM on Facebook or Interscope, Instagram. And as always, it's been a pleasure. I love y'all. Like the live, y'all. We missing a couple likes before you get out of here. And let's get those. We out.